Hello, hockey fans. Hey, howdy, how you doing? Drop the gloves. Episode 15, brought to you by the good folks at Underdog Nutrition. Look, we're like a month into the new resolutions. If your resolution was to look better with your shirt off, then Underdog Nutrition, you need to know who they are. You need to like their Facebook page. You need to find out where they're located. Right there under the interstate, down by the meat market. Right there. Go in, visit with them. They've got all the vitamins, the supplements, everything that you need to make sure that you are getting the most from your workout. It's hard enough to get up. I assume it's hard to get up and work out. I don't do it. But I assume it's hard to get up and work out, and you want to get the most bang for your buck for the work you're putting into that. So you need to go see our friends at Underdog Nutrition. Let them help you get where you want to be physically and in the mental part of it. It looks good to look good. I would assume it would look good to look good. Let them help you get there. Back here at Big Lost, I apologize. The two gentlemen we have sit down with us here tonight, Vance Kleinschmidt and Solig, took some time last week at Spirit Hall, sat down, gave me two phenomenal interviews, no audio, zero audio with either one of them. So I felt like a dipshit. They were very cool. It was a busy week coming off of sweeping Sheridan, heading into the Helena weekend where we had the two top teams, not just in the Frontier division, but in all of the 3HL here in town. The fans, you were phenomenal. Saturday night, the largest crowd, I believe I read on the Wild Facebook page or Instagram or TikTok, I don't know, one of the social media platforms that Web Pros has done a phenomenal job all year, but last week the build up into the game with Helena, the social media presence and the buzz created around that was phenomenal. So Caitlin did a bang up job on all that. The buzz that was created was awesome, and it worked. There were over 1,000 people there on Saturday night, and I believe that was the largest crowd to watch the Wild games. So I don't know, that might not be correct. I might have made up that I saw that, but I know there was a shitload of people Saturday night, and it was awesome. Both Vance and Sky here in a minute. We'll talk about how cool it was to play in front of crowds like that. We've bounced around a little bit, whether it's been with some sickness, some scheduling stuff, not being able to get here into the meadery. It feels good to be back there. This is a cool place. If you get the chance, I know, speaking to the folks here, the Tuesday night trivia night that they do out here is growing into something where they're packing people in here. So it's filling up. So I know Tuesday nights down here at 7 o'clock is the trivia night, and it is really taken off. So if you want to come and hang out somewhere that's pretty chill, there's no TVs. There's some music set kind of low, and you can just go drink. We're doing the Irish Red again. Quality control on this. Delicious. Couldn't have made it better myself. So Big Lots Meadery, they've been hosting us. I very much appreciate the chance to come into this space. There were some folks in here earlier from out of town. Had a little kid checking out all the firefighter stuff in here. So he had a good time looking at all the Smokey the Bear and the firefighter stuff. So we are going to recap everything that happened last weekend. I'm going to do a little bit of an editorial because with larger crowds and maybe some people that had not been out to the arena as of late, or maybe for the first time, there was some shenanigans I want to address later because I had to use as a friend said, she had sent me a message. I had to use my dad voice Friday and Saturday night, and I was not. I don't enjoy doing that, although I do think I can kind of be a prick very well. I don't like having to yell at people over the public address system, but at the same time, there's some etiquette that needs to be followed. Hockey's A hockey arena, I feel, is something. It's somewhere special to be. I think the game of hockey is something special to watch. So we'll get into that here after a bit. But first, we are going to take a look back at the Wild's weekend that was.
about ready to get things underway here as everybody gets everything strapped back on. Helena Bighorns in their road blues with white numerals, white names on the back of their chest. Got the Bighorns logo on the front. Got their blue socks. The Wild are in their home whites with orange numerals and got a little orange accents on there, yellow accents on there. With their white socks with black and orange stripes, and we're about ready to get things underway as the Wild will skate left to right, south to north. This mid-January first place matchup. Declan takes the draw, but it's won by Bland, and face off to the left of Buckles. Wild got to win this face-off. It's going to come to Isaac, slides it up to Dudinsky as he walks the line. Back over the far side to Declan, right in front. Oh, trying to backhand it with Sanborn. Sanborn takes a elbow to the side of the head, but that's kind of no man's land down there. So right there, Dudinsky with a shot. Declan with the rebound and puts it home. Nice shot by Dudinsky, and it came off the goaltender, and Declan, he's around that net, and he finds it. And that was a 5-on-3 power play, so the Wild will still have a minute and 23 of power play. 11:42 to go here in this first period. Baker to take the draw with Della Bobby to his left and Cooch to his right. Banning and Slinger up high. Slinger at the high slot. Puck comes right in front of the net, ends up on Barton's blade. He sends it up the far wall to Galloway. Wild giving chase here as Holland has it down low. Just good pressure by the Wild. They're going to come up with it. Comes up to Slinger. Slinger fires a shot. Goal! Nice goal, Slinger. Had some traffic down there, and the Wild take the lead. And walked it out the corner there. I think that was Solig, and flipped it up to Slinger. Slinger pretty excited about that one, as he should be. That was a nice play. So not sure Buckles had some screen down there because. So with 2:37 gone here in this second period, the Wild take a 2-1 lead. Tristan Baker to take the draw against Bland. Wild able to kick it up ahead. Wild going to have an opportunity. Carson Cooch comes in. Shouts goal! Nice job. Carson Cooch shorthanded. That was just a hustle play all the way right there. Not sure whether Baker was the one that got that kicked up and out or Cooch himself, but shorthanded. The Wild extend their lead to 3-1. That wasn't for a lack of effort. The Helena player laid out and had his stick out. Cooch was just able to lift that one over the top. So Wild do apply a lot of pressure. They're always looking to score a goal. They are shorthanded, and they got another one. So Carson Cooch, nice job. Still sawing, but it comes up. Wild fire it deep. That was Trebojevic fires it deep and then sent back across by Fanning. Flipped up to the neutral zone. Isaac kicks it to himself and then backhands it. Declan trying to tap it around, get to it himself, but Helena with it is we got a bit of a brawl going on here as Isaac Young has had enough with someone. That guy ripped his helmet off, and he's not happy about that. That's Tyler Aldridge that they got tied up at center ice. Got his helmet ripped off. Looks like Aldridge is going away, so looks like Isaac's getting kicked out as well. Isaac's trying to say the guy ripped my helmet off, and he did. The crowd not going to like this one, but Isaac's getting a game eject, and so is number 20, Tyler Aldridge. So we'll see if Solig, Norwegian, and Lean can come up with something special with Blake and Trebojevic out there on D. Face off in front of the Helena zone. Good job by Blake to kick it into the zone. Norwegian after it. Going to be kicked up and out by Matheny. Brought down, and that's where we'll end this. So just like last night, 3-3 after after 3 periods. Nothing decided. Face off to the left of Jack Orchard. Solig to take the draw. Comes to Blake. Blake comes around behind his own net and then stops, changes direction, gets it poked away. Solig after it. Got 1 minute even to go here in this overtime period. Wild able to kill off a power play opportunity, and then it's up and out of the zone, so Bighorns have to regroup. Good job by Baker applying good pressure on Skinner. Skinner up the near wall. Baker slashing at him. Comes away to Bland. Bland with it, sends it across, far side. Solig tries to get around his man, does. Wild have an opportunity. Gets it up ahead. Baker comes in, fakes Dukes. Score! Oh my, what a goal! Tristan Baker with the goal. 31.3 seconds left in the overtime. Tristan Baker up ahead with the goal. You can't ask for anything better than that, can you?
Wild win, wild win.
Wild win. Oh, what an exciting game. 31.3 seconds left. Pass up ahead. Baker buries it. Keith Baker, you'd be proud tonight. So we'll look forward to seeing you at Parent Weekend. Wild coming out to show their appreciation of the crowd as they tap their sticks. The old air horns will sound. Very nice game for the Wild. They're the Frontier Division leaders now with 63 points. Only 1 point behind them is the Helena Bighorns. So now the Wild have to take care of business next weekend against the Yellowstone Quake. They got the Brute Cobras away, and then they'll be back. Will Blake had the game winner last night, had the assist on the game-winning goal tonight. Played a good job on defense. He's normally a forward and played a good job on D tonight. Carson Cooch. Cooch with that good goal that on a breakaway. He got to head to the locker room a little early, so he's in his suit. Tristan Baker with the overtime winner. Played a good game and always does play a good game on that penalty kill, and he's just out there working hard, and he got rewarded tonight. So the Wild end up out shooting the Bighorns. It says 51-35 for the game, so what's on the scoreboard? 31.3 seconds left in overtime. 4-3, Wild with the win. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you next weekend for Jersey Appreciation. Be the Gillette College Jersey Appreciation Weekend. We'll welcome the Yellowstone Quake to town. Hope the Helena Bighorns have a nice trip home, but good to see the Wild with the win. 4-3, Wild with the win. We'll see you next time.
Okay, Vance Kleinschmidt, thanks for taking some time. Join us. I want to know first question, how much fun was last weekend?
It was a blast. I mean, coming out playing one of the best teams in the league. Got to be pumped for it.
When did you guys know, or did you notice that the crowd was going to be big? My first indication, Friday night, when you guys come out to warm up, just sit down to do the music, and you look up, there's, talking to the ladies out front, there was already 300 people there 30 minutes before the game. Do you notice that, or kind of when, or did you notice at all how big the crowd was?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, take a couple of looks up into the stand once in a while throughout the game, and you realize how many people are actually there.
Can you feel the energy? I just broke the chair. Don't tell them. Can you feel the energy? And so that game Friday night, there was a rush, and you guys, I don't remember who centers they center the puck in front. There's a shot made and it misses, and you hear the whole crowd gasp and sigh a little bit. And that's when you could tell the two ladies I sit down there that's running the clock and running the computer, all three of us were like, holy crap, there's a lot of people here tonight. Like, you could hear, is that stuff, like, does the noise level change and, like, their reaction, or are you so focused on the game, like, you don't notice that?
Yeah, I think people notice that they're getting really loud and they're into the game, and then it just feeds them to play better.
The first 10 minutes Friday night, they were in your guys' zone, and I think if you guys give up a goal there, it might completely change the whole weekend. But that first 10 minutes, they were on you guys, and then you flipped it, and it was you guys controlled pretty much the rest of the weekend. Did you feel that the first 10 minutes, that it was they had really put the pressure on you guys, or was that, am I reading too much into that?
Yeah, they pressured us really hard first 10 minutes. I mean, they're a good team to give that time and space to.
Is that the biggest deal? Is it the quickness? Because I know we've talked about it earlier. I'll talk about it. You guys were nice enough to carve out some time last week. I screwed up. 2 great interviews we have no audio of, but you both talked about speed. Was that something that you expected and that they had, and just how important or hard is it to defend against a team that's that fast?
Well, we kind of expected it, that they were going to come out hard. I mean, we just had to bear down and match their speed.
When did you feel it? When did you feel the momentum change in that game Friday?
The momentum shifts normally came after like a penalty. I mean, it took a penalty earlier in the game and then turned into a 5-on-3. I mean, it's all
That's
about
what builds it and gets it going.
Yeah, it's all about possession.
Gotcha. Controlling the puck. Okay, so you played baseball growing up as well as the hockey stuff. Was that the most fun of a game that you've played in, was this weekend? Or have there been others in the past that were maybe on this level for crowd excitement, what was on the line? Is there anything you remember that was as fun or more fun than that?
Probably sections would.
Okay, I don't know what sections are. Explain it to me.
It's for high school. It's because we're in Section 8 for a single A, and then we play everyone, and then the top team goes to the state tournament, and then playing East Side's probably our biggest games.
Okay, so sections are like conferences, basically.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, so you play within your sections for points, or do points get you into a section for almost like a tournament?
Well, they seed us for like throughout our section. There's 8 teams.
Okay.
And then they seed us 1 through 8, and then it's just like tournament basically.
Now, do you play those at is there a host site for that?
Yeah.
Or are you guys going, so it's one of those deals where you're going and then everybody else within the section that's playing, there's several other teams and their crowd that are there to watch you?
Yeah.
Gotcha. So where is that usually played at?
Or
where was the ones played at that you enjoyed the most?
I like playing it in Warroad.
Okay.
It's our home rink, but probably Thief River and East Grand are top 2 rinks.
Okay, so did you have those two of any of the places you've played? Were those the rinks you enjoyed the most?
Yeah, besides playing at the X.
Okay, which is where
state tournament.
That's the state tournament. That's where Minnesota plays. That's the big one. Nice. Okay, let's go back. I've asked all the guys. We already did this last week. We're going to do it again. Going back to when you first got started in hockey, what is your first memory of either skating or playing hockey, and how did you get into it?
I mean, my mom was a cheerleader. She coached my sister at a younger age, and then I just normally got into it.
How old are you when you start playing hockey?
I was young.
Okay.
Started at a very young age.
3 or 4, little baby.
Yeah.
Okay, when did you kind of start playing the other sports? Was it, we had talked about baseball before, so
Probably about the same age.
Okay, so you did hockey in the winter, baseball in the summer. Was there anything
Yeah,
else?
and then football.
Okay, so you did everything.
Yeah.
Which did you like the best early?
Probably baseball because it was nice outside.
Okay, because you're a warm weather guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's nothing wrong with that. You go through like the youth stuff in War Road. Are you having to travel a lot of places, or were you able to play a lot of hockey, right there around town?
Around town mostly. We didn't have to travel too far. I mean, we have a pretty small town.
Okay. What age did you kind of start to figure it out that you were gonna try to go the junior route? I know you went to college, baseball. COVID screwed that up, or how did that happen? How kind of give me the story on how you ended up here in Gillette.
Like it started in juniors.
Okay, or when you left, because I know you left first. You were gonna go play baseball.
Yeah, I went to college to play baseball my first year out of high school, and then it was like I tendered with Wilmer, and I told him I was gonna go to college, and he said, "Okay, if you need anything, let me know." It was getting closer to the end of school, and I texted him and thought about playing hockey again. And then he was just telling me stuff that I needed to do over the summer.
Okay, so this is the coach then at Wilmer.
Yeah.
Got you that you're in contact with. Okay, so you go the junior out, you leave there.
Went to New Ulm.
Okay, and you're there a short bit.
Yeah,
and then you come
then
to Gillette.
Yeah.
Okay, so who do you know here? Like, how does that connection happen?
I know Sky, Jack, and Sage. Yeah, 'cause we played in high school together.
Okay, so all the War Road kids, you guys are
Yeah.
all together. So you send a text. You want like what's the initial? Who reaches out to who first, or kind of how does that happen?
Sky texted me first, and then Sage had texted me like 5 minutes later, and then Jack.
Okay.
Like a little after that, and they were just asking if I was thinking about continuing to play.
Okay.
And
Now I've watched you guys. I especially this weekend after talking to you guys last week and knowing you guys are kind of a group. You guys look at each other different on the ice. I know there was an instant with Sky and Seja in the Sheridan game where they go on a 2-on-1, and I happen to see, so Sky comes in front of us, his back's, and Seja, they make eye contact and just both get shit-eating grins on their face. Like do you guys enjoy playing with each other as much as it looks like you do?
Yeah.
Like what is the buddy, that relationship in hockey? Like, what's that like?
I mean, I think so because we spend so much time together with each other in high school. I mean, being multiple different sports. Summertime, we were golfing every day. I mean, it's just our connection.
Who's the best golfer?
Jack likes to think so. I mean, but
who's the worst golfer?
probably me.
Okay.
Out of the four of us.
Who's the funnest to golf with?
I mean, pretty much just anyone.
Okay. I'm terrible at golfing. I am really fun to go golfing with. So that's,
Yeah.
I bring I'm not going to score.
We're not really competitive.
Okay, it's more just something for fun.
Just-
Why is it? I noticed that seems to be a lot of the stuff when I talk to you guys. Do you know what's the connection between the hockey players and the golf? Like, was it just because it's a summer activity and you can be outside
Yeah.
and it's not freezing ass cold?
Yeah, it was like most of us either worked together or played summer baseball
Okay.
on a team, and then like being through that, I mean, we get a bunch of people go and golf, do like night golf,
Nice.
all that fun stuff.
Have you got to golf here yet?
No, I didn't even bring my clubs.
Okay, well you need to get them. I don't know. You guys might be gone this year before. If you come back in the fall, you can get out. Either one of them are fun. If you get the day and want to go do something in Buffalo, the course in Buffalo is really cool. It's worth going over there to try and play one time. So
Yeah.
it's got a couple cool holes where you're looking there at the mountains. So kind of your style as an athlete, kind of as a young man, who kind of helped shape you growing up? Like, who was a coach or a volunteer or somebody growing up that had the most influence on you kind of as you come through the youth programs?
Probably coach-wise would be Bryce Demolay.
Okay.
I mean, he was just there for almost everything.
What was his style?
He'd like to give you a good workout, hard time. But he's a fun coach.
Nice. What about Ethan now? What do you? I guess I can't ask. I mean, I can ask you, do you like him? You're not going to tell me you don't. But he seems to have built a good camaraderie with you guys, and even Friday and Saturday nights when the tide turned into games, he kind of let you guys figure it out. There was a couple. I think Saturday night you caught a media timeout real good, but when stuff changed, he didn't call a timeout. He wasn't screaming. He did. So I don't know how much you guys can hear him, or I'm sure you do, but we don't pay. You might not pay attention. But that first 10 minutes Friday night, he was yelling at, hey, what the f*** are you guys doing? So that we found to be a little funny, because you don't hear him go to that very often, but when he does, it seemed to have got everyone's attention and got it changed around. So has he built a good camaraderie and kind of has you guys all working together?
Yeah, I mean, he's a fun coach to be with. I mean, he just loves being there with the guys. He wants it just as much as we do.
Nice. Yeah, this weekend was a lot of fun. I don't know if you know it. Saturday night was the biggest crowd Gillette's ever had for a hockey game. So that was cool. And there was Friday night into Saturday morning, my youngest daughter, she wants her ear pierced again. So I run her down here to get her ear pierced at the tattoo place. Noon Saturday morning, there was like 6 people in there talking about how much fun they had at the hockey game the night before, and I thought that was really cool because they were already talking about making plans. They had some friends that were out of town. They're making plans for, well, when the playoffs start, we got to get back, and they're going to do this. So it's cool to walk in somewhere and be able to eavesdrop on people talking about how much fun they had at the games. So last thing, and I'll let you go. I appreciate you guys taking this time. I said hopefully the audio's working on this. Hopefully. So, after the games, kind of tie this into both. After the games, when you guys come out, especially Saturday night, there was a big group of little kids there to see you guys. And then you guys work with the Parks and Rec department on the Learn to Skate.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy that, being around the little kids and getting to go out and see them? And
yeah, I enjoy it. I mean, I got that kind of help when I was younger, growing up. I mean, it's just giving back to the kids.
Cool. 2 more weekends, and then you get Helena back again. So, was there any sort of a message that we're doing this on Monday? Did you guys practice today, or were you off today?
We practiced today.
What did Ethan? Was there any message on staying focused, what we were doing, or kind of?
Yeah.
What was the recap from the weekend?
He wants to keep the pressure going. I mean, we sent a statement to the league. I mean, we just gotta back it up.
You don't want to win this weekend and do something dumb this weekend. Don't win last weekend, do something dumb this next weekend.
Yeah, we just want to keep pushing forward.
Cool. Man, I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking some time.
Thank you for
Back with Sky Solig. Sky, thank you for taking some time.
Thanks for having me.
Apologize again for screwing you guys up last week. You are the first recurring guests we've had, but there is no proof you were here the first time. So, but we'll hopefully this goes good, and we have audio of all this. So, I want to ask you the same thing. Just as a player, as a fan of everything of hockey, how much fun was last weekend?
It was a lot of fun. We had the 2-goal lead on them, and then they came back, which made you bite your nails a little bit, got it a little intense. But it feels awesome winning in overtime. Baker scoring the goal, and can't remember, Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, Will.
Yep.
The second night, or the first night.
No, it was, it was as cool. I stand by it, and you guys ended up making it come to be. I think at any level, those were the 2 best hockey games. This was on paper beforehand. The 2 best hockey games played anywhere in the country.
For sure.
Here, Canada, anywhere on this weekend, and you damn sure stood up to that end of the bargain. So a couple kind of the same questions. I want to get a feeling from both of you guys. When could you tell, maybe Friday night or Saturday night, when could you tell or how do you tell that there's a good crowd there? Like, what do you guys feel? Do you guys talk about it at all, or kind of what's that like?
Seja and I usually like to talk about the fans during warm-ups. At first I didn't think that there was going to be that many, because during warm-ups there was some empty seats still I could see, but after we came out during the first period to play the game, then it was packed, and I just got really excited for that.
How cool is that?
It's definitely something special when there's a bunch of people there to watch you play and perform. It definitely gives you a little jump in your step.
And I think, like, you guys put on a good show. I mean, it's not like it's not ugly hockey. Like, it's really good hockey. It's really fun to watch. We had talked about the speed last week.
Yeah.
Was the game as fast as you were anticipating it was going to be?
For sure. It was definitely maybe even a little faster. Helena came out strong the first 10 minutes in the first game, but I felt that after that, Ethan stepped in and then let us know that we were flat.
What does he tell you? He didn't seem as angry as he had maybe been on some of the other games. Was it a lot more calm demeanor on talking to you guys? Because from where I was sitting, honest to God, like the first 5 or 6 minutes, I was like, holy shit, we're on the wrong end. Because basically where I sit, my head's cocked one way, and it was cocked the wrong way for a good start. What do you think made that change in that first period Friday night?
I definitely think that all the boys could feel that we were slacking in the speed and playing up to their pace, but after Coach pulled us aside and said that we've been here before, you guys know what to do, go show me that you guys can do it. And then that definitely gave us a little motivation, for sure.
Now, when you guys get the 2-goal lead, you get it both nights. I wasn't as worried Saturday night, I guess maybe because we had seen what had happened on Friday night. But do you guys talk to each other? Like, do things change when they get that and they tie it up Friday night? Like, how does the game plan kind of change from? I don't want to say you quit attacking with a 2-goal lead, but I think the kind of what the pressure you're trying to put on and stuff changes. So, like, what's the game plan for X's and O's when they tie it up and you know, okay, we're gonna have to get another goal to win this?
Well, that's definitely something that Hayes brought up. He said that we're playing not to lose and just not to win. So that's kind of what we were doing in Helena the first 2 games that we played them. And I think that kind of showed that we started to do that in the third period in both games as they made a comeback. But after that, we knew that we had to step it up another notch, take it to the next gear, and then really just bear down and find our opportunities and capitalize.
I was impressed because I know when you guys went to Helena, you guys weren't healthy. Not injury-wise, it was just, hell, everybody in town was sick. So to watch you guys with your full set of lungs and your full set of legs, I was impressed because when I watched the Helena games on TV, and they were able to take possession and control more of the pace of the game. And you guys, especially I think the second period, both nights, really, you took it to them and did what you guys wanted to do. Was kind of your game plan and everything going in? Were you guys able to execute what you wanted?
Yeah, I definitely think so. But in the third period, I think we got a little too comfortable with the 2-goal lead, for sure, in both games. And then it kind of just showed as they made that comeback.
There doesn't seem to be any questioning or anything when, like, Will plays defense Saturday night. Like, when Ethan says something and makes changes like that, is that you guys, you just move and do it? Like, there's no, he's the coach, what he says goes?
Yeah. I was definitely shocked on how good of a defenseman Will was, but I heard that before in AA he was playing a little bit of defense, so I wasn't too worried. but he definitely did surprise me.
It's been fun to watch each one of you guys as you build confidence and make plays, and that's one of the gentlemen that's in the penalty box that was on the visitor side on Friday night made the comment of you've seen his confidence grow. And do you guys see that too as players? Like when a kid gets hot and gets on a roll, is that something that kind of happens in hockey?
Yeah, definitely. Going back to Will, in practice we give him a lot of shit because he doesn't really score a lot in practice, but somehow he was able to snipe that bar down.
Yeah, well, him not scoring is translating very well to him scoring in games.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll keep that for the rest of the year if we have to. Now I don't know if you when I was talking to Vance about, I don't know if you remember that play against Sheridan with you and Seja on the 2-on-1, but when you're playing with guys that are buddies, like, and you're having fun, because you guys go, like I said, your back went to me, and you two made eye contact, and he got a shit-eating grin on his face, and you fed him, and I can't remember if he just missed or he hit the bar and it went outside.
I think he hit the post there.
Yeah. So how much fun is it when you're having fun with your buddies and stuff like that? Like, what is that like?
It's definitely a blast. It's something special to be able to be playing with 3 of the guys that I played with in high school. So that's something special, and it's always fun to just be with your buddies out there, especially when you get a rush and you just know what you're going to do before you do it.
That's the thing, is you guys knew what was going on. Like, that's something you guys have probably had happen a few times in the past. So that's the part of the game that makes it fun.
Yeah.
So when Vance was talking about the golfing side of things, do you have anything to defend on, like, your golf game or anything, or where you're at with that?
I definitely think that Vance and I would be a good match because we're just not too good.
Okay.
We just go out with the boys just to have fun.
You're a good time.
Yeah.
You're fun to golf with.
Out of all 4 of us, I definitely think that Seja's the best.
Okay.
Jack can hit the ball hard.
Is Seja, he's left-handed, isn't he?
Yeah.
Are you?
I'm lefty.
Oh, you're lefty too?
Yeah.
Okay. What?
I'm righty.
Righty, yeah. See, lefty's got a real pretty, it's like a real pretty swing. So you got that going for you too. You're more fun to watch.
Yeah, I feel like it just translates from hockey, from just moving your hand up. But some weirdos I know are lefty and then in hockey and then switch over righty in golf.
Yeah, that does seem
that just boggles me.
The other thing I was going to ask you about, you hammered the post on Saturday night. You've done that a few times. Like, does that suck when you? Because I don't think it came off. Did it come off the mooring when you hit it, or did it stay?
It stayed.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. Like, do you want that to give a little bit when you hammer?
Yeah.
Like, what happened? I just looked up and saw you were kind of standing there for a minute, like, oh, holy cow! So you got her pretty good.
Yeah, it's definitely.
So what happened there? Like, I didn't see the play.
The pass came across to me, and then I just cocked it back and shot it, and then it just drilled the pipe, and then it just kind of sat there. It's always a bummer when it happens.
Yeah.
You hate to see it.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go back now to Little Sky, and what got you into hockey? Like, when did the hockey stuff start? Did you have siblings that were doing it, or where did that come from?
My dad, he played hockey all his life, and then when he came to America, then he kept trying to play hockey, and then his English wasn't very good though, so he lost out on a couple opportunities.
Where did he come from? Where's?
Budapest, Hungary.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So when he defected, he came over and tried to keep playing hockey and keep the dream alive, and then didn't stop until he was like 36.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So he definitely, growing up, he was a big influence. I always had a hockey stick in my hand when I was little. There's baby pictures of me when I'm like 1 playing driveway hockey with my sister and my dad.
Okay, so you got into it when you were young. When did you really get into like the organized game? Because you were in Bismarck at the time when you were doing this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are
you Bismarck or Mandan?
Bismarck.
Which side of the river? You're okay. You're on the
Yeah.
other side. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
I got into organized hockey probably when I was 3 or 4, just playing like mites and preschool hockey, and then I was always like bumped up into the next group because I was a good skater and all that stuff. So I was playing with all the older kids that were like 2 years, 3 years older. And then it came to squirts, and then I couldn't petition to move up. And then, so I played 3 years of squirts, and then I was back with my level. And then 8th grade, at the end of 8th grade, that's when I decided that I need to go to Minnesota if I want to get better.
Okay.
So then I moved over to War Road,
Okay.
9th grade year.
Does that happen a lot, like the War Road community? Like, is that something where are people accustomed to the kids that want to take the next step or play a little better level of hockey? Like, how welcoming is that, or how weird is that? Because I know, I mean, sometimes that's a territorial shit sometimes in the high school sports where a kid moves in, takes playing time from a local kid and all. Did you have to deal with that shit, or like, how does it work?
No, they were pretty welcoming in War Road, honestly. Yeah, it definitely happens a lot in War Road more than other places. We get a lot of shit for being imports to be good, but that's just how it goes. But no, I definitely didn't get any shit from like the locals or anything. They were definitely
It's more the people you're playing that want to talk.
Great hockey community though.
Okay. Is there, I'm sure there was some, I was shocked with the goaltender, Buchholz. I was surprised how much, I think Friday night when he started talking, I think that took him off his game a little bit because he seemed more rattled. But is there a lot of talking that goes on Friday night, or Saturday night? Like, was there a lot of talking or not as much, more focused on the game? Or it didn't look like from where we were sitting there was as much as maybe has gone on when you guys were playing Sheridan.
Yeah. I definitely think that there was more talking on Friday night than Saturday. But I don't think it was anything like too bad or good.
And you're not going to have that's the people because it was Saturday night when Isaac's deal happened. So Friday night, the people that were at the Saturday morning at the tattoo place were making mention of the only thing they didn't have was a fight.
Yeah.
And that's when I first started volunteering. One of the guys, first he said, hockey's better with blood. That was one of his quotes. And the other thing he said is if they fight Friday night, the place is full Saturday night. And I was like, no, that's one. No, I don't. I mean, my daughters play. I don't like watching you guys hit your heads. I don't like watching you hit the board. I do not like that part of thing as being a parent. It drives me nuts. But God damn it, after Isaac's thing Saturday, the buzz in that place was. It definitely changes, but it's also a part where you're in a big game like that, you can't take a stupid ass penalty.
Yeah.
So that shit's real. That when you're in a game against the other top team in the country, you can't do stupid shit. Hayes probably isn't fun to talk to if you do stupid shit in that situation.
No, not at all. No, we couldn't afford to take any stupid penalties to give them the advantage on the ice, especially how close it was. And something funny. So we went to Maine Bagel Saturday morning.
Okay.
And then when we were on our way out, a couple of the fans stopped us, like an older guy, and then he was with his family. He said that we better see a fight tonight.
Yeah.
You better go out there and fight them.
Dude, it's the craziest. I don't like if it happens naturally, like we were just talking beforehand in the Minnesota game with the Avs where they ran Darcy Kemper and that guy wrapped around and went hitting his face. That I understand. And Saturday I understand Isaac's deal too. Like homeboy just
jumped them.
Yeah, jumped in the same shit that happened in Sheridan with Bovey, where that kid just. What do they call it? Slew-footed.
Yeah.
Kid and like that's justifiable. And which I mean I have nothing to base it off of other than a fan, but that looks to me like shit that should be allowed. But no, in a good game like that, I don't want to see somebody do something dumb and which in Helena's case, I don't remember what the score was at the time, if they had already come back and tied it or if it was still a 1-goal game. But that's a dumb penalty like that can change the momentum. Well, I think one of your guys' goals was a 5-on-3 Saturday night, or it had just the 5-on-3 may have just got over and they hadn't changed yet. But there's actually that's real on not wanting to do stupid shit.
For sure.
Okay, you're growing up. I think I'm going to assume from the youth stuff, kind of the most influential person for you is probably your old man.
Yeah,
Okay,
definitely
why?
my dad.
What did he kind of teach you about the game of hockey, the game of life, or maybe what's one of the most important things he's taught you?
Well, like I said the last interview that we had, every time I touched the puck when I was in squirts and whatever, I didn't like to move a lot. I would just set my feet and just kind of coast in. And then he'd always yell over the glass over everybody else. I would always hear him just yell, "Move your feet, sunshine." So that's kind of engraved in my head. But other than that, he always told me that you got to be a respectable man. You got to be good off the ice and on the ice. Like, coaches won't talk to you if you're just a little shit off the ice. So.
And that's true. That's very true. Not only that, employers won't talk to you. Dads don't want you around their daughters. Like shit like that. Like that is very much. And I will say, and this is a credit to I think both Shaw and Hayes, that you guys are a good group of young men. We've had some guys here in the past that were dipshits, and I don't get that vibe off you guys. So that's a credit to you guys. I think it's a credit to your families and to Ethan for looking at that and getting you guys down here.
Yeah, my mom always tells me that somebody's always watching, so that just always sticks with me too. Before I do something stupid, I always think somebody's always watching, so I better not do this.
And with you guys here, there's a lot of little eyes on you. Like we have a lot of, as they kind of move up, the numbers are dwindle a little bit. Within our mites and squirts and stuff here, we have a lot of kids that play hockey, and you guys are the shit to those kids. So I know it was really cool Saturday night when you guys came out, and there was a whole slew of them up there. So that's this. I ended with Vance. I'll end with you on this one. How cool is that to have those kids come up and want to talk to you guys? Like, is that a pretty cool moment when you go into the locker room and you come back out and there's a bunch of them little kids waiting to say hi to you?
Yeah, it's always something special, especially like going into face-off. I'll sometimes hear like, "Go Sky," and that's always something special that I hear, and it just keeps you wanting to keep going and do your best all the time, because you always have those little ones watching.
Is that something you enjoy too, with the Wednesday night, working with them on hockey and stuff, and kind of having them gravitate to you guys that, okay, I'm working with these kids now. Like I'm showing them a few things and really get to kind of help them along their way in hockey?
Yeah, for sure. In Bismarck, there was something similar with the Bobcats that I would do, and I remember just it always made my day when I got to talk to those guys and skate with them. So I just like to give it back to the kids now that I'm old enough.
Cool. Well, I appreciate it. I know GHA appreciates it. The county appreciates it. I appreciate you guys taking time coming down here tonight. We got we're doing this on Monday night. We got one more good football game to go for Wild Card Weekend. So I appreciate it. Don't screw up the next 2 weekends. Let's just get her done and then get Helena back here and finish that off. So I'm looking forward to the next few weeks.
Yeah, we all are too.
Sweet, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Cannot thank Sky and Vance enough for actually doing this now twice. Like I said, they came out Wednesday night. Before Wednesday night's a busy time for these guys because they work with the Campbell County Parks and Rec on the Learn to Skate program and the Blades and Avalanche. I'm not sure which one they were working with on Wednesday night. They practiced. They went and grabbed them a burrito. They came back. We did the interview. I felt like an idiot when I got home to try to edit it on Wednesday, and I let Coach Hayes know. He was cool. They were all cool. They could have told me to pound sand. They weren't going to come back and do it again, but they did. Now, I do think that them getting 2 big wins this weekend probably helped. Everybody's in a very good mood now within the program. So that was cool. I think those guys are doing this, and it's cool they carve out their time. I do mean it. When we were talking to Skyler, I think it's a good group of young men, and it's very cool to see all the kids that come down after these games and get to see the guys and talk to them and visit with them. I think they set a good example of what and how the game should be played both on and off the ice, and that's when you have a youth program and you have a junior team there in town. I think that's very important for those kids to have a group of guys to look up to, like we have here in Gillette right now, because it's a hell of a lot better than what some other towns have, but mainly just up the road here, a little bit to the west. So I want to talk a little bit about. We're going to go over the stats. We haven't done that in probably a month or so. We've had some movement. We have a new all-time leader across all categories now, with the exception of penalty minutes. But so I want to talk a little bit about some stuff that happened both Friday and Saturday night, and it was involving 2 things. First of all, there was a situation where there was a reported the officials where there was a red laser that was being, I don't know, do you say shown, pointed at the ice. And we were never able, the three of us, to sit down where the announcers and the clock and the computer is kept. We never saw it. But we had a couple people come report to us. And by the time we were done Friday night, they were saying that it was coming from where I sit to my left up on the mezzanine there to the north in the beer garden. And I hope that wasn't the case, because what I talked about earlier before the interviews on that, when you get these big games and there are some people that show up that maybe have not been to the games as often, they might not take as much pride in what goes on there and the atmosphere that's created. The beer garden people are there. That's my people. Like, that's the rowdy group that's there all the time. I have a hard time believing that any of the regulars down there would do something like. As a matter of fact, I know none of the regulars down there would do anything like that. And I'm fairly confident, to 99 to damn near 100% sure, if any of them saw something like that going on, they would put a stop to it immediately. So that's just something, when you have a game that's at that level with us and Helena, and they could not have been nicer. The folks from Helena, so before the games, I try to go over and do a quick introduction, and mainly for the teams that haven't been here yet this season, and this was their first trip down here. So I try to give them a heads up about, hey, after the warm up, we're gonna dim the lights and we're gonna do a little bit of, again, back to the stuff that Web Pros has done. They've produced these videos. We have a hype video. We have a starting lineup video, and I introduced myself to Damon, and he spent a few visits visiting with me, and then I spent a little more time talking to the assistant coach Gavin. They were both cool as all get out, and there's a reason they're at the top of the division as well, and they run a good program, and they deserve to be able to compete with us in an atmosphere that doesn't have stupid shit like a red laser being pointed at them. So I hope we don't have to deal with that again, especially on the competition side during the game. It pisses me off, because maybe I'm a dork about it or being a little nerdy, but I think hockey's different from the aspect of, I think it deserves the respect. Those young men on the ice deserve the respect of us as spectators and as volunteers, to giving them, when hockey's played in the form that it was played in this last weekend, it's a beautiful sport. Like, it was Friday and Saturday night, where it was awesome to get to experience that atmosphere, that game played the way it was. It's not something that's recreated a lot in a small atmosphere like that. It was awesome. Okay, now to the second part where I really got to be in a prick, and that was at the end of the second period. At every one of the home games, they have what is called the Sulzer Chuck-a-Puck contest. And basically what it is fans buy pucks. They buy as many as they want, one to as many as they want. And what you do is you take the pucks, and I make announcements several times throughout the game that there's really only two rules, and that is, one, you absolutely, under no circumstances, do you chuck a puck with anybody on the ice. Rule number two kind of falls into the consequences of rule number one, but we don't want the puck chucked from the side of the arena. We ask that all pucks be chucked from the north and south, from behind the goals. And the reason for that is not to be a buzzkill Barbie, not to try to make some, stupid dictatorship where you're gonna listen to what we say. These are our rules. It's not some competitive advantage to take away from the person from the side. The problem with throwing it from the side is there's a net there, which we both proved, or it was proved both nights, Friday and Saturday night. If you try to throw the puck from the side, you're either going to throw it all the way across, where we have a group of volunteers here with no protective gear on whatsoever, waiting to collect the pucks in a timely manner so we can zam and get on to the third period. And you also have the training staff from Gillette Physical Therapy in between the crowd on the side and the net, working with players that maybe need to come out and get some ice. And this is from both teams. That 20 minutes there is a chance for them if they need to talk to the boys, or maybe some of the boys come out and get a breather. There are volunteers walking up and down. Sometimes there is food being delivered to the visiting team. None of those people have helmets on or anything whatsoever. A hockey puck, I mean, worst case scenario, a hockey puck could kill somebody. It damn sure could kill a little kid. So Friday night, I guess you're going to have it with high school kids because they're just dipshits by nature. So that group of kids that sits up in the corner down in that south corner up top, that seems to where we always have the trouble with. And that's the thing. If you're going to do that stuff, kids, stay home. Like, we don't want your money. Like, don't come and cause trouble for the volunteers and stuff and act stupid. I had a friend and his wife go. This was earlier in the season. A buddy of mine from work and his wife, they got a whole tray of nachos thrown on them by the kids up there. They'll never come to another hockey game again. So it's stuff like that that really, it's upsetting to the core group of people that put in the time and effort. And we're volunteers. Like, what I get to do is fun as hell. I would do it. I love doing it. Some of that stuff is not as much fun, and it's the chance to get to be up close and watch some of the volunteers. A large majority of them are billets, so they're billet families. So not only have they welcomed these kids into their homes and are helping in the raising process, they're also showing up and helping in the process of getting these games going and having the games be able to be brought to the public. So Saturday night, the most upsetting thing to me was an older gentleman that he was a grandpa, and he was there with his grandkids. And after the countdown had happened, and then there are instructions given during the countdown about where we're getting, and then there's a hey, you need to switch to automatic, switch off semi to auto. Let's get them pucks on the ice. Even after the countdown's done, we wait about 10 seconds, and then we had to have had 100 kids on the ice, 150 kids on the ice on Saturday night. And this guy goes and he threw 5 pucks out on the ice after the little kids had already been out there. And I was furious. And that's part of the stuff. We don't want that. So once we were done, I was given permission by those who can give permission to do such things to go talk to this gentleman. So I went up the stairs. I had to wait a minute. I had to catch my breath, so I had to run the stairs. So I went up there and asked him why he had done that. And he started making excuses, which were all just a bunch of lies. I asked him to leave. I told him we didn't like him setting that example for his kids. I certainly didn't like him firing pucks out there. And some of the kids who were on the ice had already been back up to their seats. And I told him that none of the families around there appreciated him throwing those pucks at their children when they were on the ice. It's just, that's bad sportsmanship. That stuff, don't do that. Like I say, don't be that guy, because that guy he had the potential to ruin what was a great weekend of hockey if he hits one of them little kids in the head with a puck. So I guess you're going to have that when you get and draw the bigger crowds, which I'm telling you, that place was bonkers Friday and Saturday night. Both nights, when they hit them overtime winners, the place went, they blew the roof off Spear Hall. So I hope we can keep that momentum and keep the good crowds coming out. The boys are at home this weekend with Yellowstone. So Yellowstone will come over Friday and Saturday night, and then the boys head to Butte, and we got Helena back down here again. So 2 weeks, and then that third week, Helena will be back down here. Those games are going to be important. We got to win that series. We got to win that series if we want to be that top seed and have home advantage through the playoffs before they head back to Minnesota on however the structure works there for the Fraser Cup. But, okay, I'll stop yelling. It's upsetting when something like that can ruin a good night. So before we get out of here, let's check the scoring on stuff. when we look at the NA3HL.com website and go to Game Center and check out top scorers, it's going to pull up and it's going to let us know Declan Young continues to lead all of the NA3HL in points with 67, averaging right at 1.91 points per game. Tyler Green from Helena is in second. This weekend on the ice here in Gillette, we had 9 of the top 20 points getters in all the NA3HL on the ice this weekend here at Spirit Hall. When you look at the top 20 right here, we have Declan Young is up there. He leads the league. Tucker Lean is in 12th with 55 points. Caleb Sanborn is 18th with 50, and Isaac Young is in 19th with 49. So those guys for the forward position leading there. Let's take a look at our defenseman here real fast. I got to hit the submit button. We did have the top scoring defenseman on the ice this weekend from Helena, Tabor Gutschik. And he's salty, man. He's fun to watch. He's fast, so he's got speed. So, but he's 60. Brock Trebojevic is fourth for the Wild with 36 points, and you go down, and Brock is the only defenseman for Gillette in the top 20 of the scoring. I'm going to swap over here mighty fast and check out the goaltending. We have 2 in the top 6, and that is Jack and Jake. Our Jack is 14-0-1. We're a 1.78 goals against, and Jake is 14-3-0 with a 1.94. And those are the top 2 in the 20 of the goalies. Who we saw this last weekend, Eric Bugholtz is 8th with a 17-2-2 record, 2.08 goals per game. Now, I said we had some records set. I can't remember. I hit the reset button a lot with this stuff here. So I don't remember if we went over Declan's taken over the lead with the assists, but he now sits atop as the franchise leader for the Gillette Wild with all-time assists. He now has 102 of those. He sits as the all-time leader in goals, currently with 120 of those, and he is the all-time leader in points with 222 of those. So Declan has taken over the franchise lead in all scoring categories. And it's, if you haven't had the chance to get out and watch him play, he doesn't suck. I'll tell you that. So the boys are fun to watch. The boys are buzzing, as the kids say. So gather up the family. If you get the chance, come out. Come to Spirit Hall. Come and have fun. Big Lost, they brought a bunch of their keg to bear this weekend. The beer was a-flowing. It is a good time. Home Fire Foods concession stands. They got everything you can need. You can't go to Rapid and catch a hockey game right now. The quality of the show is probably a little better. They got a sweet-ass surround sound system over there. I would love to play music on that thing sometime. But for the on-ice, what you're going to see, the competition, man, save yourself the trouble. Save yourself the money. Come to Spirit Hall. Watch the boys play. At least give them a shot. It's worth it, I promise. So come, check them out. They're going to be at home this Friday and Saturday. Puck drops at 7:05 against the Yellowstone Quake. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and we will see you next time.